Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dylan, and welcome to Dylan the Truth Podcast. If you guys are new to this channel, I'd like for you guys to subscribe to it and also hit that like button. Deeply appreciate it. Now, this segment is about the recent trades that happened in the NBA. I'm just gonna touch on the two big ones that happened so far in the NBA. Obviously, the trade deadline, not a trade, the NBA draft just went by. There's a lot of great prospects in that draft. It looks pretty bright for NBA. Like their future is looking really bright. I like the players that was in that draft class. I'll talk about that some other day. But there was two big trades that happened. One was a three-team trade with Boston Celtics, the Memphis Grizzlies, and the I believe it's Washington Wizards. So basically, Boston, who they got in that three-team trade, they got Kristaps Porzingis, and then they got a 2023 first round pick, and then a 2024 first round pick. Well, I guess that one is I guess they traded that pick to the Warriors. So Porzingis, he's always been a player that that had the potential to be the best player in the league. I mean, he pretty much has it all. He's like about what 7'3", I think. 7'3". He could shoot the ball. He could put it on the floor a little bit. He could play defense. He could really protect the rim. But the problem with him was always the injuries. That was the biggest knock on him. So for Celtics to get Porzingis, that was a big boost for them because they were in need of a center. That was what they've been missing for like a few years, and they finally got that. Then you look at Grizzlies. Grizzlies got Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart was their heart and soul for Boston Celtics, especially on the defensive end. He's the one that gets them going when they're in a bit of a funk. He's the one that's rallying the troops. He would get at the star players' face, like Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown. He didn't care. Like, he was just all about the team. And, he's known for being a scrappy defender. He's a very streaky shooter. But, I mean, it does boost Memphis defense for sure. I mean, I believe they lead the league in defense, but he also helps a lot, especially in the perimeter. But I mean, we'll see how that goes. Ja Morant obviously is still going to be facing that 25-game suspension, so it's going to be important times around like the 25 games. That's when we're gonna really see where Grizzlies are gonna be. We're gonna hope to see if Marcus Smart could live up to how he played like in Boston Celtics. He could probably carry that over to Memphis because Memphis right now they're still like a good team, but we just don't know where they're gonna end up. They could be like one of those teams that's in the top four, top five, but we'll see. And then the Washington Wizards, they got Terrence Jones, uh, Diano Gallinari, Mike Muscala, and then also a 2023 second round pick. Tyrese Jones is regarded as the best backup point guard in the league. He was on Memphis Grizzlies. He was definitely a big part of that team success last season, especially when Ja Morant was out due to injuries and then also the recent suspension. He held his ground. I mean, he knows how to run the offense. He has a good feel for the game. He's a really good pick and roll type of point guard. He has a nice mid range shot. He can shoot the threes. He's pretty much everything you're looking for in a point guard. So, that's not too bad of a pick for Washington. Gallinari, he's a bit on the tail end of his career. He's a stretch four, about what 6'8", 6'9". He could shoot three. He does try on defense, but his lateral quickness is not really there. So you're not gonna really expect much from him. And then Mike Muscala is another stretch four. He's just basically just a spot up shooter. He's another big that could shoot the three. So I guess they give them shooting. But I don't know. I don't know where Washington is going at. I really believe like they're rebuilding. They're just building for the draft because they got a lot of picks. They've been in the mix. The past couple of days, they're the ones that's been making trades. Um, by giving up Bradley Beal, their franchise player, they traded Chris Paul. They traded for Chris Paul and Landry Shamet and then a couple of draft picks from the second round, which actually leads me to my next segue with Chris Paul. Now, Chris Paul got traded to the Golden State Warriors, and the Washington Wizards actually got Jordan Poole, Ryan Rollins, Patrick Baldwin Jr., and then you got a 2027 second rounder, 30 first rounder, the top 20 protected. A lot of people were shocked by this trade, including myself. I was trying to figure out what was Golden State mindset, like what direction are they heading when they made this trade. Obviously, Jordan Poole didn't really have a great season last season, especially in the playoffs. He really got exposed. We all watched that series against what was it, the Lakers versus Warriors. Jordan Poole didn't show up. He didn't even play he barely cracked 10 minutes in a couple of the games. Like he was just out of it. I don't know if his mind was there, or he just I felt like he checked out. Like he just didn't want to be part of the team anymore. But I mean, he does give you 20 plus points, so they're gonna really miss his scoring. I mean, he is a streaky player himself. But maybe some off-court stuff that went on. It might have had something to do with him and Draymond. Remember, at the beginning of the season, Draymond punched him in the face, and he never been the same since. You could just tell, it's like he mentally checked out. He was just like, yeah, I'm just here basically just collecting a check. I'm not really here for them. Like, I don't even want to be here anymore. That's what he's thinking. But then I really thought about it, and the only sense this trade makes is basically Jordan Poole could be like the face of the Washington Wizards. I mean, the Washington Wizards, like I said, they're in rebuilding mode. So they need somebody to, be the face of that franchise, and I believe it would be Jordan Poole. He does have the potential to be an all-star. It's just the only thing with him, he has to be more serious. I mean, he can't be careless with the ball. I think at times he gets a little too cute with the ball, like he's trying to play for the crowd instead of playing for the team. So that's where he really gets into trouble. He's a really good player. Defensively, he's lacking on that a little bit, but offensively, he could light it up with the best of them. Now, the situation for Chris Paul now, I believe they made this trade only because, if you remember, the Golden State Warriors led the league, or one of the top teams that, either one or two, that in the league in turnovers. And, Chris Paul really knows how to take care of the ball. Now, Chris Paul is not the player that he once was. He's obviously, he's 37, 38. So he's not that player that we all remember, the nickname Point God. Chris Paul could still impact the game in terms of, getting guys in the right spots, his leadership. He'll get on every player. He doesn't care who it is. What your status is in the league. He will get guys in the right spots. He is a very intelligent player. So, yes, that would help them tremendously. And I believe he will come off the bench, to help that second unit. Obviously, with Golden State Warriors, we don't know what's going to happen with Draymond Green, but the way it's projected, it looks like it's going to be, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, and then maybe another center to be their starting five. And then Chris Paul leads the second unit. You know, get everybody else easy shots. So that's how I look at that. But that's the only sense I can make of this trade, and then also is to clear the cap space as well, because Jordan Poole on his contract he was making a lot, so he took a chunk out of their salary cap. So by trading him, that gives them a little more room to maneuver and get like a couple other pieces that could help the team and eventually contend for a title. But we'll just have to see when the regular season starts. I believe the end of October. But we will see how this all plays out. I don't believe they're going to be a championship caliber team. They will still be in the playoff mix. They'll still be somewhat of a threat, but I don't think, as far as being title contenders, I don't see that happening unless they get a couple other pieces that put them over the top. But they're an older team. You gotta remember, Steph Curry's 35. Klay Thompson's about 30. I believe he's like 34. I think Draymond's around the same age. Chris Paul's like 38. I mean, there's a lot of mileage on that body, so we'll see how that turns out for them. Hopefully, it turns out well for them. The Golden State's an exciting team. A lot of people want to tune in and watch them. So we'll see how that plays out. But that would be that for the segment. I would like to thank everybody for tuning in to this video. Until next time, peace.